Oh, John, let me switch hands here. Hurt my right arm yesterday. My vlogging arm. It doesn't quite work, so I'll have to backwards vlog here. From this angle, wow, it's the same guy. Hey, thanks for your message. I'm sorry it took me a while to get back to you. It seems to always be the case. I'm almost caught up though with everything. That's great. You know, I'm struggling with the same type of thing too. You were talking about the people who are willing. What did you? What did you say? The most. I don't know how to quite reword it, but trying to keep up our sense of propriety. It's not quite the word, is it? Honesty. That's maybe the word. Yeah, I think that's about it. In a world where this kind of ties into the ideas you were talking about with regards to being honest, loss of what gain we may have through trickery. Well, trickery is not quite the word. I can't quite find my words this morning. I guess it comes down to being honest in a dishonest world. I mean, there really are a lot of situations where we lose out or we're fooled by those who are willing to compromise what we consider to be our better values for their own personal gain. Hey, there's my friend. Yes. And maybe it is that they just hold a different set of values. Maybe their values aren't the same as ours, and that's probably the case. Well, clearly it's the case. But I think there's a lot of people who are downright dishonest. I'm dealing with a situation right now where a friend of mine who has been engaged in something that more and more I'm considering to be just downright bad. What do you do in that situation? You know, is the friendship worth just glossing over it and letting it go? Now, 10 years ago, I would have immediately, upon recognizing what I thought to be a great discrepancy between our values, a great distance between ours, and values that, well, or lack of. Yeah, because I think that's what it is. It's not just a different point of view. It's a choice to pursue personal gain at the expense of what we consider to be virtue. Well, pursue personal gain at the expense of others. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, you know what? That's what it comes down to. Pursuing personal gain at the expense of others. I don't like that. And I hope that people will call me out on it when I do it. The world. I know it seems like I'm rambling, John, but your mind, your thought, your comments have got me kind of in a twisted tangle of ideas. You know, the world is a worse place. I was just watching just now something about war crimes, and I was just astonished at how people were willing to basically lay aside their better judgment for the purpose of following orders, or, well, that's what it is. Not, or following orders or not suffering the consequences of standing out. What kind of world is this if we do the same? Even if it's just for the trivial stuff like that. You know, a world where people will take advantage of us. And others. And I feel like I'm an adult now. Hopefully my more naive years have passed. If I could live to be 200, I would look back and say that my naive years have just begun. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if we lived to be 200? I mean, we think about, we get to be, in our midlife, and we think, wow, we've learned so much, we've experienced so much. But the reality is the amount of time that we have to experience is in fact limited. What wisdom, if I can use that word, because it's probably what it is. Wisdom is knowledge gained of experience, right? Wisdom is understanding gained of experience. And if you can only experience a limited amount in the course of that's less than 100 years, then your wisdom, by definition, then will be correspondingly limited. If you could live to be 200, wow, what insight could they have? So I think that, you know, the time that I've had, I can protect myself and my family fairly well. I'm still a fool. And my values are such that I seem to let my resources slip away. Another friend of mine wrote to me over the weekend, and he's a clever guy. He's a smart man, someone who I respect. And he basically told me, he said, you know, I'm not clever enough. He didn't quite word it that way, but I think, no, he is clever. What he meant was he understands the world enough to know that he'll never be able to retire. That he's probably going to work until, as he said, he's done. So I guess you and I both have known our folly, some measure of it. Well, I know, at least I'll know. I'm sure I'll know a lot more. I hope so, because the packages wrapped in folly are always contain the most interesting gifts. Gifts, maybe not. What they are. They don't come free. They're hard earned. Yeah, but the stuff wrapped in such trappings, failure and mistake. Wow, good stuff, huh? So I'll try to be a good man. Try to define what good is within my scope. Being a secular human being. It all comes down to practical stuff for the most part. So try to find what good is, and then try to live according to what precepts, what is the right word? What guidelines, what authority, not authority, what structure I can assemble from observation, and do my best to chastise myself when I fail, and hope that others are willing to do so as well, and hope that I can have the openness to listen when others tell me I'm wrong. Listen objectively. And then, along those lines, to attempt to do the same in kind. Not necessarily to act as a police officer in the world, but to not close my eyes when bad things are happening. So with the case of this friend who's doing the thing that he's doing, I will be honest with him when he talks to me about it. And even if it means it's to the detriment of our friendship or even the loss of it, I think that's the responsibility as a human being who wants to care, who I do care, and who wants to leave the world a better place than he found it, according to the scale of right and wrong formulated. Thanks, John. You're obviously your email gave me a lot of cause to think. Sorry, it's so long, rambling. It's kind of like a true stream of consciousness here. Stream of consciousness response. Talk to you later, friend. Bye-bye.